Alright, so boom. Just to recap, January, we did high stakes, right? Greedy, led the charge on that. I gave him 1,400, he put the card together, was a success. We got together and did Orion. I gave him 2 bands, that was a success, right? And that was February. March, we did Idols Turned Rivals 2. I got to pick the headliner, and I gave him $2,720 for the whole card, right? Mind you, I'm just putting money on the floor for each of these battles. Damn, I might have OD'd with the Vaseline. What's going on there? Hell. Alright. So boom, March I gave him $2,720. April, we kind of put this card together. This was the EFB versus EFM. You know what I'm saying? We was both, yo, it looks crazy. What's going on? Okay, better. So April, we did the card where I basically went and booked all the people that I met at the Riot event in person, booked them against my Spaces guys. So look how it come around though, and it was kind of a birthday present to me, even though everybody else made money. That one cost me 3,900, right? So that was April. May, Greedy has his situation. They basically don't rock with him. He said, he told me right before the scandal broke out. He told me, "Yo, bro, they trying to get me out of here." You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Yo, you might be paranoid a little bit." He's like, "Nah, nah, nah, I promise you, they're gonna find a way to get me out of here." I said, "Damn, bro. Alright." So I didn't even know how to react, you know what I'm saying? Because he was the front man, I was giving him the bread, all the politics and everything that was going on, I didn't see it. And you know what's crazy is, like, when you're at the forefront, when you're a public figure, only you see like all the perceived slights, only you see like people attacking you, only you see it. But the people around you, they just see you being paranoid and people be like, that's not a big deal. This not but people really be trying to destroy you. I don't know what that's about. I've experienced it myself. It's very strange. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm here giving out bread so that we could push the culture forward. And there's people like trying to find ways to destroy what I built. Like it's like and it's people that look just like me. That's what be throwing me off. I always thought the enemies would be people, you know what I mean? But it's like it'd be people like us. Like you know how difficult it is to be a black man in America, and you trying to tear a black man down. Like what? But it's a strange. We live in strange times, man. We live in strange times. People will hate you just for existing. It don't even make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like any person I had a problem with, it was rooted in something. I don't just be having problem with people just because they existing. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Like this will come with it. So if you don't want to be a public figure or don't want to deal with BS, don't be a public figure. Don't be all in the videos. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. So Greedy has his situation in May. EFM crumbles. I get the phone call and they say, "Yo, we need you to keep pushing this thing forward. We need you to step to the forefront and just keep it going." Mind you, I had been privy to some of Greedy Gotti's plans for what he wanted to do with the Twitter guys, but I really didn't know for real. So I was like, all right, man. Like, I had a girl at the time. I looked at her and I said, yo, that Louis purse I was gonna get you, forget about it. That vacation we was about to take, forget about it. I gotta put everything I got into this. You know what I mean? This Twitter spaces thing. I was still honoring my promise to God. And I know she was looking at me crazy because how do you nobody ever understands something like that? Why are you just giving away money? Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But I made a promise to God. I told y'all earlier. I made that promise to God I was gonna honor it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, where do I begin? Now, Greedy had a thing. I didn't even know where he would come up with the titles for his Spaces events, right? I didn't know, but I knew that I wanted to title my space events after movies. So I was like, okay, so it's me stepping to the forefront. We're in spaces. I was like, okay, Independence Day. I'm gonna call it Independence Day. So it's like a double entendre. Independence Day because it was a dude with aliens in the spaces. Um, and then also because like it was independent, like it was just me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm reaching out to people, building relationships, trying to create. You know what I'm saying? Dope opportunities for everybody. I'm overpaying. My whole thing was to overpay. I wanted creatives to get overpaid. So I paid people, I think it was like a 250 deposit, and then I would put money on the floor, like 500 on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So like every battle was like $750 or something crazy. You know what I mean? And then there were other expenses that went into it. All in all, Independence Day cost me $6,000 for a bunch of for 10 battlers to rap on their phone in the spaces to be recognized and for battle rap to pay closer attention to what was going on in the spaces, I gave away $6,000. The grand total of the first 5 events that I did, January, February, March, April, and June, was $17,120. That's not even that's half of the money I spent in spaces. There's even more, but I spent over like 30 grand in spaces. But just those first 5 months, I spent $17,120. I thought I was gonna stop after that. I didn't even know it was gonna turn into all. You know, when you get a job, right? Your boss get fired, and you at the job, and somebody walking and say, "All right, man, you the boss now. You run it," and then they just waiting on you to run it. That's how I felt because it was like I had to learn how to build relationships with people. I had to figure out how do I get judges in here. I had to figure out, who obviously paying people made everything a whole lot easier, and overpaying people made everybody very cooperative. You feel what I'm saying? But it was still a lot to put together. I gotta salute Tati, who really like helped me so much. Like behind the scenes would be like, yo, do this, do that, yo, holla at this person, get you some judges that like she was so helpful and I gotta salute Vegan Bay. She was super helpful. The two of them hosted the event for me because I wasn't really I was at the forefront now, but I wasn't really trying to talk like that. You know what I'm saying? And I got to salute Doc too. Doc was behind the scenes helping me put together, telling battlers, hey, pull up, let's go. Yo, you rapping, come on, let's, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be telling them the matchups I'm putting together. He was doing voiceovers to announce the card and stuff. Like, yo, it was a group effort. I could never say that I did it by myself. They had already built this thing in spaces. All I did was come around with some bread, but it was time for me to be the forefront of this. And all those little hashtags that I had been hiding, every time I would post an event, I would hashtag We the Fans One, We the Fans Two. Now it was We the Fans presents Independence Day. Now everybody knew what We the Fans was in the Twitter spaces. The real world didn't really know, but the battlers that were tuned into spaces knew. You know what I'm saying? Well, We the Fans, that's Frank White. That's the sponsorship, right? Yo, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I went with it. Yeah, I'm the sponsor. You know what I'm saying? Like at the time, I had no clue what I was doing. But so many people helped me along the way. You know what I'm saying? Some people deterred me along the way too, but that's a story for another day. So boom, in my head, I was like, okay, how do I put this card together, right? So even the flyer says "We the Fans Battle League." There was no battle league. It was just a nigga with some bread trying to figure it out to create more opportunities for my people. You know what I'm saying? So I opened the card with Big Stand versus Anthem. Oh, and I got the okay. So each one of these battles has $500 on the floor. And I know each of these guys got paid like 250 just to write their raps. You know what I'm saying? So I was overdoing it. But I wanted everybody to get paid. I wanted my goal was that every creative that I believed in, I wanted them to get $1,000 from me. That was my goal. I super exceeded it. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, that seemed like a lot of money to give people that I believed in. So I went and got Big Stan. He was a dude that was battling spaces, kind of an underdog, but I believed in him. I always thought he was dope. You know what I'm saying? So I got Big Stan. I got this dude named Anthem. Anthem is good, is a good battler, but he's got a good heart. And he was always giving me positive affirmations like, yo, you can do this, Frank. Like, just step to the forefront. You got this. Trust yourself. You're gonna create opportunities for these people. You're gonna learn how to navigate and network this culture. And like all Anthem always had positivity for me. Like, and I didn't even know how valuable that was until until when everybody turned on me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I watch niggas turn on Greedy, and Greedy had put all these niggas in position. When I watch them turn on Greedy in my head, my mom always used to tell me, whatever people can do, if you see people doing something to other people, know that they can do it to you. You know what I'm saying? So in my head, I was just like, oh damn, all these niggas turn on Greedy. I was like, one day they gonna turn on me too. But I didn't even know how real that was. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So Independence Day comes. It's my day, man. Tati and Vegan are hosting. Doc is in the speaker with me. Everybody's just supporting. You know what I'm saying? Now, Bum, obviously, it was a difficult situation because Bum Bum introduced me to Twitter Space Battle Rap, but I had sided with Greedy in putting cards together. You know what I mean? Because he seemed to have the plan, the master plan. So I just went with what his plan was. You know what I'm saying? But Bum was the one that introduced me, so I'll always say this, that it was kind of foul of me to not work with Bum when he's the one who introduced me to this whole thing and just work with Greedy. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad move on my part, no question. I take full accountability for that. Tati and Vegan, they supported me so much. They was hosting my shit with me. They was telling everybody to show up. They were the ones like while the intermissions was going, they was talking to the people, cracking jokes. You know what I'm saying? Tati really would defend me. You know what I'm saying? Because she knew I didn't know what I was doing. Tati would step in front of any bullet for me. You know what I'm saying? When people be like, "Oh, the graphics on this card," yeah, she'd be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." You know what I'm saying? She'd be like, "Yo, we rocking with we the fans." You know what I'm saying? And She was like my, you know what I mean, my bodyguard for real. Because there's a lot of people I didn't know. I was just trying to. All I knew was I had the bread, and I was trying to keep the opportunities for the Twitter guys going. Not if Greedy was out the picture. So Tati was really like, you know what I'm saying? She was the one really holding it down, the enforcer, Suge Knight of this shit. You know what I mean? And she was the one that would tell the battlers like, "Yo, stop playing. Like this is real opportunity. This is real bread. Don't fuck this up." Da, da, da." Salute Tati, man. Y'all don't even know. Behind the scenes, Tati did so much, and she hates when I talk about what she does. But I gotta that gotta be part of the story. Y'all gotta know why I rock with Tati so hard and why she like assisted because she held me down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all a real life moment that happened where she really held me down. So but anyway, so Big Stan versus Anthem was the opening battle. Next battle was Jenks versus Dev the Demon. Foet Dev is how he's called now. Foet Dev I had met at the Riot event in person and I had rocked with him. We built a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So that was my guy. I had to make sure he was on this card. And he was always showing love to the Twitter spaces. So I was like, yo, I got to get Dev on the card. And Jenks was like a kind of a new talent in the spaces. But from the moment I heard him, I thought, yo, this dude is one of them. Like, he's a superstar. I gave him that nickname. You can ask him. That's facts. You guys, Jenks, I gave him the superstar nickname because I just knew he was going to be a star. You know what I'm saying? And he's been doing this thing in iBattle blowing up. So salute to Jenks and he headlining and all that. So then, yo, so originally I had Dice versus Royalty. Royalty was a dude when I was at the Riot event. Royalty broke the building. I didn't even know who he was. He was this crip nigga walking around the event. At first, I had my joint on me. Yes, I like my knife, not my. I had my knife on me. So he was walking around the building. And I was like, yo, who is this crip nigga walking around just talking to himself, rapping his mouth? I was like, who is this nigga? I kept an eye out for him. He just looked like a crazy nigga. You know what I mean? When he got in the ring at the Riot, when we was in the building in Compton, this nigga Royalty, oh my god, he had a bar called 60 on the way out. There goes the neighborhood. He had a bunch of yo, the building shook. Royalty broke the building. All we could talk about when we left the event, me and my people, yo, Royalty is next up. Royalty is that nigga. So I tried to book Dice versus Royalty in the Twitter Spaces because I had booked Royalty on one of the cards, but I wanted to book him again, especially on my own card. You know what I mean? Because but I guess there's a miscommunication. However it go, Royalty wasn't trying to battle, right? So like a week before the event, Royalty's like, "Yo, bro, you like communication was off. I'm not doing this battle." So I'm like, "Oh shit, I don't have a like I'm missing a battle." And I'm trying to get my nigga Dice on because Dice is my nigga. Like I fuck with Dice. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, me and Dice is that's the bro. Like every move I'm making, he with me every step of the way. It was Tati and Dice. Like Dice was on the battler side, like giving me the battler perspective of things. Tati was on the side of like, yo, this is the technical side. Like so, it was just Tati and Dice. They became like my people. You know what I'm saying? So Dice versus Royalty. I announced it prematurely. Royalty was like, "Yo, I'm not doing the battle. Miscommunication is a wrap." So I was like, "Yo, I'm stuck. I don't got a battle." It's like a week or two before the event. Yo, out of nowhere, it was this dude from OSBL. Somebody had put me on to his battle. His name was Wusa, and they had sent me one of his battles. And when I watched the battle, I was like, "Yo, who is this nigga? This nigga is crazy." Like he remind me of niggas I grew up with. Like I thought he was a Jamaican nigga. Like I thought he was. I had Trini people, I had Jamaican people that I grew up around, and I thought he was that. Like he reminded me of my niggas. You know what I'm saying? And so I reached out to him. Nigga didn't know me from a can of paint. I reached out to him. Was like, "Yo, bro, what's up? My name's Frank White. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I got a card coming up. I know it's really short notice. I think you dope. I got this for you. Can you please battle Dice?" My son said, "Yo, yeah, I got you." I said, "Oh, this nigga's a real nigga," because he saved the day. Like that Dice battle was out of here if Wusa didn't say yes. So I told Dice, I was like, "Look, Dice, I know you don't got much time to prepare, but this nigga said he with it. You gonna have to do what you gotta do because this nigga's nice." I told Dice, I was like, "Yo, this nigga's nice." And mind you, Dice was losing space every space battle he was losing, but he was so fire. And I was telling everybody he was better than Eunice and all that. And y'all know Eunice was the reason I do what I do. But I was telling everybody Dice is better than Eunice. And when we had a space event, Dice actually beat Eunice in the spaces. I don't even know if Doc want me to talk about that. That battle is nowhere to be found online. It has disappeared from the history books. But Dice beat Eunice, and that shit was crazy. Once Dice beat Eunice, everybody looked at me like they knew what I was talking about. Because when I was running around telling everybody, yo, Dice is the future, Dice is better than Eunice, niggas thought I was crazy. Niggas was looking at me like, nigga, what are you talking about? Once he beat Eunice, though, niggas knew what was up. So boom, Wusa said yes, Dice says yes. I'm like, oh my God, my card is saved. So now I got my young nigga Soto. When Soto first came into spaces, I'm gonna keep it tall. I was low key hating on him. When he came into the spaces, he was beating some of the best niggas. Like, remember I put Soto on that one of the other cards, the EFB versus EFM card. Greedy forced me to put Soto on that card. Cause I didn't even that's my birthday card. I don't know this nigga. And he was like running around beefing with everybody. I was like, yo, I don't want that dude around what we doing because he just messing up relationships. He was in his live battles dissing dissing Geechee or dissing Coffee or EFB, like all type of wild. I was just like, yo, who is this dude? And he was just starting trouble. You know what I'm saying? But Greedy was like, nah, dude is fire. When he beat JR, I was like, oh, okay. I see what Greedy see. This nigga's nice. This nigga's really nice. So I was like, yo, Soto, and for all the hating I was doing, I was like, yo, Soto, come be on this card. Let me make sure get you right. So I put Soto against Appa, right? And this is what I'm telling y'all. I I know for a fact Appa don't fuck with me. Appa has never really fuck with me, but he always will pull up and get on my card. I appreciate that. You're not gonna be friends with everybody. Some people is just not gonna get along with you. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And much as I always wish that I would get the same support from him that I would show him, I respected it and understood it. But when it was time to get on the card, he showed up. So I had to shut the fuck up. Because he showed up and got on this card for me. It wasn't for me though. He did it for Doc or for Tati, but however it go, this nigga showed up and did his numbers. You know what I'm saying? So it's Appa versus Soto, and then of course y'all know I had to make sure my boy Eunice headlined. And then there was this dude named Mike, right? He was a troll, right? Mike used to troll everybody. He used to talk crazy. I loved it because I like trolling and talking shit too. Me and Mike would go back and forth. Mike would just shit on everybody, but he was mad funny about it though. And he had this character called Cuz Crippadome. Like he was pretending to be a Crip from Chicago, and he used to get away with it. I'm talking about being around real gangsters, and they let him get away with it. It was so funny, but he was fire. And I used to tell Mike, I'm like, yo, Mike, you gotta show people how fire you really are. This trolling shit is cool and all that, but niggas need to know how fire you are. And I would always try to ask me, "Oh, you trying to battle such and such? You trying to battle such and such?" He would, however it would go. But he finally agreed to battle Eunice, right? I'm like, "Yo, headlining Independence Day, Eunice versus Mike. This is gonna be a fight." You know what I'm saying? So I had Big Stan versus Anthem. I had Jenks versus Forward Dev. I had Dice versus Wusa. I had Appa versus Soto. Eunice versus Mike. Tati was hosting the event, and Vegan Bay was hosting. All my judges was in the building, and one of the judges, I gotta say this. Shout out Lola Dope from New Era Podcast. Lola Dope, when 2019 to 2022, I joined Twitter just as a regular fan of battle rap. She was the first person on Twitter that like I met that enjoyed battle rap, and she was able to connect me with the rest of the battle rap Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And so she agreed to judge my event. Like she would always support anything I was doing. From the first tweet in 2019 to 2026, Lola Dope always been holding me down. I have nothing but love and respect for that woman. She even pulled up on my platform on YouTube to do an interview with me. Like, I love her to death, man. Like behind the scenes, nothing but support, always showing love, always cracking jokes, always pushing me. Like, yeah, Frank, like what you doing? You changing the game for these young black men and women. Keep going. Like, just man, that's my heart. Shout out to Lola Dope, man. Solid individual. In this life, you don't meet too many solid people. People got hidden agendas and whatever. Yo, Lola Dope held me down from 2019 when she introduced me to Twitter, battle rap Twitter, to now. Never switched up on me, never was funny style, always held me down, always showed me love. From 2019 to 2022, I was just a regular nigga on Twitter. Then 2022, I became a sponsor in battle rap. From start to finish, this woman held me down. So Lola Dope has my love and respect forever. I gotta say that. So she agreed to come judge this. I had a few people judging. I can't remember all the people I had judging, but it was serious people from battle rap that pulled up to support this. And again, it's because of the little network that we have built. You know what I'm saying? EFM was done, but we the fans was just getting started. You know what I'm saying? The event was flawless, man. It went so well. Like I'm gonna tell you, Big Stan and Anthem. I think Big Stan won the battle. I was happy for Big Stan because I always rooted for him. I always thought he was dope. Um, Jenks lost the foe at Dev, but Jenks put on, and niggas knew, okay, Jenks is a problem. Dice versus Wusa ended up on like literally maybe 6 days prep, 5 days, 4 days, who knows? Short prep ended up being the best Twitter space battle I've ever heard in my life. Straight up. I think Dice versus Wusa is the best Twitter space battle you'll ever hear in your life. It's in my it's on my page. You go back, scroll back like way to the beginning, you'll find Dice versus Wusa on my page somewhere. Peep that. That's a great battle. I think a few of these battles is on my page actually. Appa and Soto. Remember, Appa was like, "Yo, this is why I'll always love and respect Appa, even if he can't stand me and hates me." I asked Appa to be on this card. Appa was on vacation. He was going on vacation. Lucky him because I hadn't taken a vacation, but he was about to go on vacation. This is how real he was. He's like, "I'm gonna be on vacation, but I'm gonna pop out and I'm gonna wrap my round while I'm on vacation." He's like, "And then I'm gonna dip." I said, "Damn, that's real." Like I come from the dirt. If you hold a door for me in 2003, I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life and be like, "Yo, that's the nigga that held the door for me that one time. God bless. Thank you." Appa did not have to come into the spaces and rap while he's on fucking vacation, bro. He didn't have to do that. So I'm always love and appreciate it. Even if I paid him to do it, I still appreciate it because he didn't have to. And he was giving Soto that limelight too. Like they took him serious because Soto ended up winning the judge vote. That put Soto on the map for real. You know what I'm saying? So Appa not only held me down by being on the card, he gave Soto the light and he did his numbers. You know what I'm saying? Then we had Eunice versus Mike. Now Mike was fire, but Eunice sent him to the upper room. Eunice cooked him, man. But I didn't care because I was like, you know what, Mike, one day, like maybe not that day, but one day people are gonna wake up to how dope you are. I knew that. You know what I'm saying? Just the other day, he got signed to trenches. What do you know? You know what I'm saying? That this event was like 3 years ago, and now here he is signed to the trenches getting his shot. Mike versus Reggie P. Make sure y'all go check that out. Mike did his numbers. Mike cooked on the trenches. Big salute to Mike, man. Super happy for you, bro. But these are the origins. You know what I'm saying? These are the beginnings. And Independence Day was a success. You know what I'm saying? It cost me $6,000. Yo, when I tell y'all, my money is so crazy because as I would give away the money, I would start making more and more money. And as I was making more money, I was increasing the budgets of these events because I was like, I want to keep creating more and bigger opportunities. In my mind, I was like, I'm just gonna sponsor space battles forever. And then like once they get to like 1,000 a piece, everybody could come in there and just get a band off spaces, pay your phone bill, pay for whatever bills you got. You know what I'm saying? That was the vision. But eventually we'd have to go outside. So all that Twitter space battles had to stop eventually. But yeah, that was Independence Day, my first card that I did by myself without Greedy. And then just with the collaboration of people like Tati, Doc, Vegan, Dice, Wusa, Appa, Soto, Mike, Anthem, Big Stan, they all came together to help me out, man. And I'm gonna forever be appreciative of that because they could have been like, man, who is this nigga? Fuck this nigga. We're not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? But they all rallied behind me and supported what I was trying to do. I was trying to create opportunities for them. Them supporting me vouch for what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the money in the world, but if the talent don't believe in trusting you to put an event together, you ain't got shit. So they all believed in me enough to come battle on my platform, enough to trust me to throw this event and man, I just did the best I could because I understood that responsibility, I understood what it was about. And from that event, niggas was like, yo, who's Frank White the sponsor? Yo, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just knew I had good intentions and I knew that I had decent people around me that were gonna help me continue to put these opportunities together for the new talent. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's crazy because there's still a couple more space events, but this was the backstory for Independence Day, man. Thank you to everybody that pulled up to that card. And this was just the beginning of Frank White, the sponsor. But now it was all on me. It was all on me. No greedy, no nothing. Now it was like, okay, you you're the man now, dog. You got the you got the juice now. So it's like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna lead these people in the right direction and create opportunities for them and help their careers? No pressure, but all pressure. You know what I'm saying? But the first event was a success, big success, and I was so happy. Everybody was happy for me. They were supportive, they were congratulatory. Everybody just, really rallied around me and my brand. That kind of made my brand serious, and people started inquiring, like, "Who's Frank White? Who's We the Fans? What's going on here?" You know what I'm saying? And that was July 3rd, 2022. You know what I'm saying? The next event wasn't until May 2023. And the reason that is because shortly after this event, the month after this event, I got into a car accident and the whole culture turned on me. The whole Twitter space culture turned on me, except for maybe a couple people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all all about that on another episode. But this was Independence Day. So now y'all know where Frank White, We the Fans all started, where it was just about me stepping into the forefront. Greedy went through his shit, and then it was up to me to step up and continue to lead the movement. And it was no EFM anymore. They were all individual contractors, all individual talent, but they all pulled up to the We the Fans umbrella and trusted that I was gonna lead them the right way. You know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all next time. Don't forget, We the Fans is for the culture, always. I'm out of here.